जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, we read that first? Yeah. One page? How is it?
Yeah, one page or a paragraph or
Oh, I was not aware.
no, no, page 791.
Reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Unlimited opportunity, limited time. As the record went into production, the devotees returned to their regular work, still living separately. Prabhupada set the time of his arrival for early September. He would go to Hamburg and then come to London, he said, even if there was no temple. Miraculously, only 2 months before Prabhupada's arrival, things began to come together. Gurudas met a real estate agent with a building on Bury Place near the British Museum. The devotees could move in immediately. An ideal location, 41 pounds a week, and immediate occupancy. It was wonderful. Mukunda wrote Prabhupada asking him for money for the down payment. Prabhupada agreed. Shyam Sundar got a letter from George on Apple Corporation Limited stationery stating that Apple would guarantee payments if the devotees defaulted. Within a week, the devotees had a 5-story building in central London. But when the devotees went to live at the new center on Bury Place, city officials said they did not have the proper housing permits. The red tape could take weeks, even months. Again, the devotees were without a place to live and worship together. Shyam Sundar, however, on faith that everything would work out, began constructing a temple room of California redwood in the building. John Lennon then suggested to Shyam Sundar that the devotees come and live with him at Tittenhurst, a large estate he had recently purchased near Ascot. He needed some renovation done, and if the devotees would help, he would give them a place to live. Can our Guru also stay there? Shyam Sundar asked. John agreed, and the devotees moved into the former servants' quarters at John's estate. Only a few weeks before Prabhupada's arrival, the record Hare Krishna mantra was released. Apple Records staged a promotion and brought press reporters and photographers in a multicolored bus to a blue and white pavilion where the devotees had gathered with George. The first day, the record sold 70,000 copies. Within a few weeks, the devotees appeared on the popular TV show Top of the Pops, singing their song. The Prabhupada Lilamrit ki, the Prabhupada ki. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter 5, Lord Rishabhadev's Teachings, verse number 3. ये वा मयिषे कृतसौहृदार्था जनेषु देहम्बरवार्तिकेषु गृहेषु जयात्मजरातिमत्सु न प्रीतियुक्ता यावद् अर्थश्च लोके ये वा मयिषे कृतसौहृदार्थाः जनेषु देहम्बरवार्तिकेषु गृहेषु जयात्मजरतिमात्सु न प्रीतियुक्ता यावदर्थश्च लोके एवा मयिषे कृतसौहृदार्था जनेषु देहम्बरवार्तिकेषु गृहेषु जायात्मजरातिमत्सु न प्रीतियुक्ता यावदर्थश्च लोके
एवामैषे कृतसौहार्दः
कृतसौहृदार्थ
ज्ञानेषु देहाम्बरवर्तिके
जनेषु देहम्बरवार्तिके
गृहेषु जायात्मजरातिमत्सु
जायात्मजरातिमत्सु
प्रीतियुक्तायादराच्च लोके
प्रीतियुक्ताय मदर्थश्च लोके
एवामैषे कृतसौहृदार्था
सेवामयि कृतसौहृदार्थ
जनेषु देहं परवर्तिकेषु
गणेषु देहम्बरवार्तिकेषु
गृहेषु जायामतचरतिमत्सु
गृहेषु जायान्मजरातिमत्सु
न प्रीतियुक्ताय वदार्थश्च लोके
प्रीतियुक्तायावदर्थश्च लोके माताजी ये those who वा और मई unto me. Ishe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krita Saurdartha, very eager to develop love in a relationship of Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya. Janeshu, to people. Dehambaravartikeshu, who are interested only in maintaining the body, not in spiritual salvation. Griyeshu, to the home. Jaya, wife. Atmaja, children. Rati, wealth or friends. Matsu, consisting of. Na, not. Vritti yukta, very attached. Yavatartha, who live by collecting only as much as required. Cha, and loke, in the material world. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. They are not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders, nor are they attached to wives, children, friends, or wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep the body and soul together. Quote by Srila Prabhupada. Whether he is an impersonalist or a devotee, one who is actually interested in advancing spiritually should not mingle with those who are simply interested in maintaining the body by means of the so-called advancement of civilization. Those who are interested in spiritual life should not be attached to homely comforts in the company of wife, children, friends, and so forth. Even if one is a grahastha and has to learn his livelihood, he should be satisfied by collecting only enough money to maintain body and soul together. One should not have more than that, nor less than that. As indicated herein, a householder should endeavor to earn money for the execution of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shramanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Householder should lead such a life that he gets full opportunity to hear and chant. He should worship the deity at home, observe festivals, invite friends in, and give them prasad. A householder should earn money for this purpose, not for sense gratification. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this verse and this chapter, Lord Rishabdev is giving instructions to his sons, headed by Bharat Maharaj. That is the duty of father. We see Vasudev, he was in prison, so he didn't get to meet his sons, Krishna and Balram. And when after 11 years, Krishna Balram came to Mathura and Krishna killed Kans, Vasudeva was so happy to be with his boys. But in short time, he called Krishna Balram one day and he said, "Come sit with me." And he asked a very important question. He said, "Krishna, Balram, tell me, did you boys go to school or not? Did you study something or not?" Now what will Krishna reply? What did he study in Vrindavan? How to steal makhan, how to chase gopis. So he said, "My dear Baba, father, we didn't study anything." And immediately he arranged to send them to Sandipani Muni's ashram. Even King Dashrath, who loves Ram so much, he sent all the poor boys to Gurukul, to Vasisht Muni's ashram for schooling, for studies. And here Rishabdev himself is giving spiritual knowledge to his son. It is very important duty of father and mother to give education to the child. A child born is generally, we say, innocent. But more than that, a child born is ignorant, not innocent. If the child was innocent previous life, he will get liberated. He did some sinful karma, so he continues his existence in the material world. The child born is ignorant, and the ignorant child needs to be provided with knowledge to understand the goal of life, to understand one's relationship with Krishna, and that is called education. The purpose of education is character, not career. Nowadays, education institutions, they only focus on career so that the child comes out of the university and is ready to get a job, get a career, become a slave of somebody else or some company. Nokri. In Hindi, they call it Nokri. Nokri means one who does nokar, one who is nokar is Nokri, one who is a slave. So that's not the purpose of education. The purpose of education is character. Whatever you are born, after education, you become a better individual. You become a better citizen. You become a better boy. You become a better girl. That's character. So parents' duty is to make sure not only the child gets food and toys and clothes and health and safety, but also gets the spiritual education so that the child doesn't go to the womb of mother again. Last life, this human form of life is last point to go back to Krishna. If, if you love your child, but after 50, 60, 70 years, the child becomes a dog and a cat, that is not love. Which parent will allow that to happen? Only ignorant parents. They should make sure they love the soul in such a way that after leaving the body, the soul goes back to Krishna. Not becomes a dog, cat, pig, camel, or bird, or insect, or fish, or not goes to another womb again. So Rishabdev is giving education to his children. And we are reading the verses, very powerful verses, starting with saying that human form of life is meant for tapasya, not like pigs and dogs eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and to realize the goal of life in association of devotee. That's the last two verses. And today's verse, Rishabdev is teaching how a person, especially householder, should maintain himself without disturbing the goal of life. The first thing he says is Asat Sanga Tyaga A Vaishnavachar. Give up bad association. What is bad association? One who is ugly looking or one who is dark? No. Bad association means those who are sense enjoyers, fruity workers, atheist people, asuras, whose goal of life is not Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked question one, how do we identify who is a Vaishnava? What did he answer? One who wears saffron dhoti kurta is a Vaishnava. One whose address is ISKCON is a Vaishnava. One who is wearing Kanti Tilak is a Vaishnava. Or address is Vrindavan, Mayapur, Haridwar, Badrikashram, Gaudiya Math. He said, Asat Sanga Tyaga A Vaishnava Achar. One who gives up the association of a Vaishnava, non-devotee, he is a Vaishnava. Not to associate with non-devotees means to associate with devotees, to develop friendly relationship with devotees, to chant and dance and hear in association of devotees. That is Vaishnava. By association with non-devotees, one falls down. You all heard of Krishna killing Narkasur? Krishna went with Satyabhama and killed Narkasur or Bhaumasur, who had who have kept captive 16,100 young girls, and Krishna married all of them after rescuing them. So Krishna killed Narkasur. Who is Narkasur? Whose son is he? Any idea? He is son of Vara Avatar. Vara Avatar and Bhumi Mata. Of course, his son of Vara Avatar, he was born a good boy. But he became an Asura that Krishna had to kill his own son because of bad association. Whom did he associated with? He associated with Banasur. And because he associated with Banasur, he became a Narkasur, Asura. Even though born from Vara Avatar and Bhumi Mata. That is the danger of bad association. Even Dvid Gorilla, he was in Ram Leela. He fought against Ravan, helping Lord Ram. Dvid and Mahinda were two big advisors for Ram and big warriors. And they killed so many soldiers and commanders of Ravan. But in Krishna Leela, Balram kills Dvid Gorilla because he became Asura. Again, how? In association with Banasur. So bad association is such that we can fall down from our path and we are already weak. So we should associate properly. With proper association, we can grow in our bhakti. We should not closely mingle with those who are having bad habits and breaking four regulatory principles like eating meat and drinking alcohol and smoking cigarette and taking drugs and gambling and doing illicit sexual activity outside marriage, having boyfriend, girlfriend. We should not be close associate with such personality because their consciousness will uh, poke a hole in our spiritual growth. So instead of mingling with these fruity workers and sense enjoyers, we mingle with devotee. We associate with devotee. We come for Mangalarti with devotee, and in front of the deities we pay obeisances and clap and chant and dance and worship Tulsi Maharani and Narsingarti and chant our rounds on japa beads, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Singarati, Guru Puja and Bhagavatam class. This is a real association, and make friendship with devotees and have loving exchanges, share our heart and hear from them. Rishabdev is saying, this bad association is like a bucket which you are filling with tap water, but below there is a hole, it is leaking. So how much you fill, the bucket will never be full, because whatever water is incoming is outgoing. So whatever bhakti I am doing will be outgoing, the advancement will be outgoing if I continue bad association. Eventually I will do offenses. Eventually there will be influence of mode of passion and mode of ignorance. And eventually there will be increase in lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, and I will get into bad habits. So if you want to fill a bucket with water, make sure it's not leaking. Make sure it doesn't have a hole on the bottom. So our spiritual advancement we want to fill up, we should avoid this bad association. So then how should a person live? Lord Rishabdev is saying, a person in a householder life should live without attachment. See, there is natural affection with family members. We are not stones. We are humans. So we have emotions and feelings. We have love for children and spouse. Nothing wrong about it. But attachment should be to Krishna. Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Thakur told a very nice story that there was a marriage party who wanted to cross the river overnight because the marriage was there in the morning on the next, on the opposite bank in the village. So they sat in the boat and told the boatman, morning is the auspicious muhurta time, so you please row the whole night so that we reach in the morning. And they all slept. It was dark night. And when morning they woke up, they saw they are at the same location. The boat has not moved. They became very disappointed and chastised the boatman. Said, why did you sleep? Look, we are at the same place. The boatman said, my dear sir, I didn't sleep. Whole night I was rowing the boat. My hands are paining. Then he said, how come we are at the same place if we are rowing? He said, I don't know. Then they figured out the boatman forgot to untie the boat. The boat with a rope was attached to the bank and he was rowing. So the boat with a rope is tied to the bank and you are rowing, where will you go? Nowhere. So in the same way, if you want to go ahead in spiritual life, we have to untie the rope of attachment. And we don't have one rope. We don't have two ropes. We have 5 ropes. And these 5 actually have millions of threads. There are 5 attachments which one should cut. The first is attachment to body and objects related to the body. We are so attached to the body, I think I am this body. I am a boy, I am a girl, I am lawyer, I am manager, I am husband, I am wife, I am mother, I am father. That's attachment to the body. And objects related to the body. My house, my car, my cloth, my mobile, my this, my that. These both are attachments and false. The real understanding is I am servant of Krishna, not boy or girl, husband or wife, mother or father, Indian or American or Kiwi. I am servant of Krishna. And there's nothing mine, everything belongs to Krishna. So that's first attachment to body and objects related to the body. Second, attachment to people connected to the body, relatives, my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, my neighbor, my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather. Oh, the list keeps on going. Relatives. my people. So second attachment is attachment to people related to the body. Third attachment is attachment to land of birth. Wherever we took birth, we are attached to that land, my country, or my village, or my town. So nowadays people are born on the bed in the hospital, but they don't have my bed kind of system. But my city, my town, my village, my villagers, that's third attachment, attachment to the land of birth. Fourth attachment is attachment to science, modern science, so mystical, so nice technology. So we are attached. When the scientist says something, we immediately agree. But when Rishabh Dev says something, we have to have a question. Questions are welcome, but doubts that how this can be true. If a scientist say if you do this, it will be good for you, we immediately follow. If Bhagavatam says if you do this, it will be good for you, we'll have to think a lot. There's attachment to science. And fifth is attachment to religion, ordinary dharma. Everybody has some religion or swadharma, mother's dharma, father's dharma, uh, brahmachari dharma, grahas dharma, kshatriya dharma, brahmana dharma. These are five attachments which we should cut if you want our spiritual boat to move forward. If you want to grow in Krishna consciousness, let me repeat. Let us repeat. What are the five attachments? First, attachment to body and objects related to the body. Second, attachment to people related to the body, relatives. Third, attachment to land of birth, my country, nationalism. Fourth, attachment to science. And fifth, attachment to religion. Five ropes, not one, not two, five ropes. And we have to cut this rope if you want to grow spiritually. So after the class, we go to the market and purchase some swords to cut the rope. No, not the market sword or knife, not the iron one. We need sword of knowledge, right? Available in Bhagavatam. By hearing everyday Bhagavatam, we'll get that knowledge to cut the rope. But just the sword is not sufficient, my dear devotees. The sword should be sharp also. So just the knowledge is not sufficient. We should do service. Service is the sharpness of knowledge. If we have knowledge but no service, then we'll not be able to cut the attachment rope. So there should practical application of knowledge. We should serve Krishna. Something or other service we should keep doing to Krishna. Either do arti or clean the temple or make garlands or cook or distribute prasadam or book or some other service we keep doing for Krishna and devotees and Gomata. Some service we should keep doing. So we need a sword which is sharp. So knowledge and service. And if you have a sharp sword, is that sufficient? No, you need some strength in your arms to cut the rope. How will you use the sword if the arm is weak or paralyzed? So that muscle is devotee association. The knowledge and service is practiced in the association of devotees, sadhu sangha, then it works. So these three things are most important: knowledge, service, and association. Just by coming in morning program, you get knowledge, you get service, and you get association. It's so simple. Just by coming to temple and hearing a class, we get knowledge, we get service, we get association of devotee. So this is how we should cut our attachment. So householder should not be attached to his family and house. He should have affection, but attachment should be to Krishna. And he should continue his duties in the name of what? No attachment. It is not that he doesn't take care of wife and children and household activities. No, that is artificial renunciation. A grahastha should not imitate a brahmachari and a sannyasi. He should take care of his family, perform his duties, go for having honest source of income, but minimum. Earning should be minimum, not to become rich, not to be greedy, not to have lots of sense objects, but earning should be just to maintain the body and soul together and take care of family needs. So whatever standard of living I am used to from childhood, if that is maintained, that's fine. And that way I serve Krishna. The Lakshmi should be earned honestly for the maintaining body and soul together for the family members, and purified by whatever we purchase from that Lakshmi should be offered to Krishna. We cook food, the plate first should be offered to Krishna in the house. That is love. Everything belongs to Krishna. But when we offer him, that is called love. But offer him first. Love means offer him first. If a father purchases a box of sweets and brings home to the little daughter and says, "My dear princess, have sweets." And the Gudiya takes the sweets, sweet box, and opens. Her favorite sweets are inside. She will be so happy. She will open the box, take the first sweet and say, "Papa, father, first sweet you eat." She offers the first sweet to Papa, Daddy. Will the father be happy? Yes. Why? Because father got sweets? No, he can go and purchase 10 boxes. He's not happy because he got sweets. He's happy because he got the first sweet. The first sweet includes the love of the daughter. And he will become so happy that what will he do? Next day he'll bring one more box because he knows again the first one I'll get love of my Gudiya. So in the same way, Krishna is our father and he's giving us everything. He's giving us rice, dal, vegetables, milk, curd, fruits, dry fruits, water, juice. What do we do? First we offer to Radha Girdhari. My dear father, first you eat, then I will take. He will be so happy. He will get our love. What will he do? Next day he'll give us again. That is exchange of love between us and Krishna to give him first. Imagine the daughter takes the box, eats 60-70% sweets, and says, "Father, remaining you eat." Will the father be happy? He'll say, "Throw it in the dustbin. I am not interested." He's not interested in sweets, he's interested in love. In the same way, a householder should use his house in the service of Krishna by having deities in the house or photo of the deities in the house. Whatever is cooked is offered to the deities and then invite devotees and serve them prasad and do kirtan and do katha and serve sadhus and use the source of income to give charity to the temple. I was very happy to know yesterday from Kal Samar Prabhu that we are extending the temple hall and extending the paraphernalia room. So that's wonderful in 3 directions. How will that happen? When we give Lakshmi to Krishna. Everybody wants a good home with multiple rooms and extensions to those rooms so that a big house. Why not Radha Giridhari? Should have the best house in Auckland so that all his children and devotees and visitors can be accommodated. And this temple hall looks big, but festival time we see it's so crowded. Sunday feast time is crowded. So we need a bigger place for devotees. So we have an opportunity to contribute. Lakshmi should be used for such purposes. So when a householder performs his duties well in Varnashram, then Krishna is pleased. In name of Krishna consciousness, one cannot omit duties. That is artificial renunciation. If the mother or father says, "I have to go to temple," and doesn't feed the kid, or doesn't care for the kid, or husband wife don't take care for each other in the name of Krishna consciousness, that's not what we are looking for. Husband and wife, just like I have two hands, left hand and right hand. If left hand is wounded, right hand applies bandage. And if right hand is wounded, left hand applies bandage. but both hands together feed the stomach. In the same way, husband and wife, they should take care of each other, lovingly interact with each other, but both together should feed Krishna. Like we have Shiva's Pandit example, he's a householder. And he invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu and his associates to do whole night Sankirtan in his house. Not daytime, whole night. For 6, 8 hours they would chant and dance, jump up and down in ecstasy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Pandit, Ramai Pandit, Mukund Sanjay, Murari Gupta, Sridhar, Suklambar, Haridas Thakur. They would all chant and dance up and down, up and down, up and down for 8 hours at night. Behind closed doors, nobody else was allowed. And Srivas Pandit is such a nice householder, he gave everything in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day when night kirtan was going on, Srivas Pandit heard some sound from the inner bedroom. They were dancing in the courtyard. We went inside and what did he see? His wife and his mother are crying because his young son died. The dead body was on the bed and the ladies of the house, including Bhabhi and sister-in-law and mother and wife are crying. Srivas Pandit told his wife and mother, don't cry. By our sound, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance will get interrupted and disturbed. I don't want any disturbance in the kirtan. Let my 100 sons die, but you don't cry. If I hear one more sound from this room, I will go and commit suicide in Mother Ganga. Telling the mother of the young boy, don't cry over the dead body of the boy. Telling the grandmother of the young boy, don't cry over the dead body. Otherwise, not only your son, you will lose your husband also. What will the ladies do? How can they stop their tears? They closed their mouth and started weeping so that sound doesn't come out. And Srivas Pandit came out of the room and joined again in Kirtan and started dancing. After 2, 3 hours, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped the Kirtan. He said, Srivas, I am not feeling usual ecstasy like every day. Something inauspicious has happened in this house. Tell me what has happened. Srivas Pandit said, Mahaprabhu, nothing has happened. Just continue dancing. And again they started Kirtan. Again after 2, 3 hours, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped and said, no, Srivas, something inauspicious has happened here. I'm not feeling usual ecstasy. Tell me what has happened. Srivas said, nothing happened. Let's continue chanting and dancing. Then one devotee came and whispered in the ears of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srivas' son died. Young boy died. Chaitanya said, Srivas, when did this happen? Then Mahaprabhu 6 hours before it happened. Said, why didn't you tell me? Said, I didn't want you to disturb your dad. Said, where is the boy? Said, inside the room. Mahaprabhu said, let's go. And he went inside, saw all the ladies crying and the dead body of the boy on the bed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his hand to the dead body and said, why are you leaving Sriva's house? The boy became alive. And he said, my dear boy, why did you leave your parents? They are crying for you. The boy said, which parents? Boy said, since millions of lives, I had millions of parents. Which one you are talking about? Every time I take a body, then I give it up and go to another family and have another parent. But you know what? This time when I left this body, I didn't go to the womb of the mother. I got liberated. And saying this, he again died. Everybody was surprised that the boy said, I got liberated because Kirtan was going on in. So it is not inauspicious, it is auspicious for a child to leave, or any man or woman to leave the body and go back home, back to Godhead while Kirtan is going on in the house. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again did Kirtan and they arranged the funeral for the boy. So that is Srivas Pandit. He is so great householder that he gave his house for the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And whole day, morning till night, he would serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will not leave his service. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being concerned, called Srivas. He said, sit in front of me. I want to talk to you. He said, my dear Srivas, whole day you are serving me and Nityanand. I see whole day you are busy serving us. You don't go out. You don't earn. How do you maintain your family? You don't have farm. You don't have property. You don't have investment. You don't have shares. What do you do? Srivas Pandit says, my dear Mahaprabhu, I have very simple formula. Said, what is your formula? Srivas Pandit clapped. 1, 2, 3. That is my formula. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is this 1, 2, 3 formula? I don't understand. You know, today modern world also has this formula in corporate. In corporates, what they do is they hire one person and they give him salary of 2 people and they get the job of 3 people. That is corporate formula. When a person goes on one job to another job, they give him 50%, 60% hike. And he thinks, wow, my previous company paid me very less. This company is so nice, giving me 60% hike, double the salary. But he doesn't know they threw 3 people out and hired one so that they can exploit. So Srivas Pandit also has 1, 2, 3 formula. Chaitanya was, what is this 1, 2, 3 formula? Srivas Pandit said, one day I will see if food doesn't come. Second day I'll see if food doesn't come. Third day if the food doesn't come, I'll commit suicide in Ganga. But that has never happened. Somewhere food comes. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Srivas is saying that if food doesn't come, he will commit suicide in Ganga, he stood up. He raised his volume. He said, Srivas, even if there is recession in Vaikuntha, even if Lakshmi Devi goes bankrupt and she has a begging bowl, begging food for herself, I will make sure you will have food in your house because you are my Shiva. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love for Shiva. He says, Shiva is not only you, not only your family members, not only your servants, not only your tailor, plumber, carpenter, the dog in your house, the ants, the lizard, the cockroaches, the mosquitoes, the bacteria, the virus in your house will get liberated because they are in your house. So householder has such an important opportunity and responsibility to liberate everybody in his house. How? By keeping Krishna in the center. So that's the purpose of human form of life, to serve Krishna. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Shiva's house and okay, before that, let me tell you, once there was a Muslim tailor. He was running in the market of Mayapur, loudly shouting, I saw, I saw, I saw. Muslim guy. So some people stopped him. He said, hey, what happened? Are you mad? What did you see? He said, I saw, I saw. That's all 2 words are coming from his mouth. I saw, I saw. Running all over market, so many people told him, you are mad, you are pagal. Why are you shouting? But he couldn't explain to anybody what happened. So what happened is, he is Muslim tailor. So he went to Shiva's house to deliver clothes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came at the same time. Both were at the door. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this Muslim guy. He said, hey, who are you? He said, I am Shiva's tailor. I sew clothes for Srivas. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard he serves Srivas, immediately on the spot, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his Shyam Sundar form holding a flute and a peacock feather and yellow dhoti and blackish blue body. And this fellow went into ecstasy seeing Shyam Sundar. He developed Krishna Prem. And the only thing he could say is, I saw, I saw, I saw. What he saw, he couldn't explain. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do that? He didn't attend Mangalarti or chant Hare Krishna because he served Shiva. So serving a pure devotee of Krishna is such a great opportunity. So householders should again and again invite sadhus in the house and serve them and hear from them, and in that way gets purified. And money matter should be minimum. One should not get too much money, one should not get too less also. Whatever our standard of living minimum is there, we maintain that The earning effort should not disturb our 16 rounds Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our Mangalarati, our class, our service in the temple. That should not be disturbed. Without disturbing that, you become millionaire, billionaire, no problem. Our 16 rounds should be done. And whatever we earn, we should use in the service of Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king of Indraprasth. He got so much opulence. What did he do? He did Rasya Yagya. And when everybody was assembled in the name of Rasya Yagya, he did Agra Puja of Krishna and proved to the whole world and declared Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidanand Vigra, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karanakara. That's why he did Rasya Yagya to show to the whole world that Krishna is God. Because of his service today, I am the emperor. I am opulent because I serve him. So use your money in the service of Krishna. Use your skills and talents and property in the service of Krishna. Then our house is purified, our income is purified, our kitchen is purified, our family members are purified, and our life is purified. And at the end, we go back home, back to Godhead. That's the purpose of life. We should be determined and serious that this life, last life, we go back to Krishna. Please don't take birth again in Auckland or any other part of the world. No, not in material existence. No, no again in cycle of birth and death. Very seriously, if we practice bhakti, especially chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Prabhupada has blessed us. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has blessed that by chanting Hare Krishna, we can go back home, back to Godhead. So we should chant very attentively, minimum 16 rounds every day. Here and chant and hear, chant and hear. The holy name comes out of my mouth and goes into my ears. And from ears, the holy name goes into the heart. And miracle happens. The soul in the heart comes in contact with the holy name and gets enlivened that yes, I am servant of Krishna. That is called self-realization. The human form of life is for self-realization, not sense gratification. So we associate with those who are into self-realization, not those who are sense enjoyers, booty workers, asuras. That will not work out. Wherever we are, whatever we add Krishna to our life. Okay? We end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments or any questions, you may please ask. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, my question was mentioned about the holy name. And we know that Prabhupada gave us a concession that we can chant minimum 16 rounds. But traditionally it was that 64 rounds should be chanted. And you mentioned how the holy name purifies the living entities, the soul. And in terms of my question is in terms of preaching and spreading Krishna consciousness to all living entities around the world, would one have more success if one is chanting more? So if one is chanting, say, 64 rounds, would that person or that living entity have more success in spreading Krishna consciousness? Because of, as long as they're chanting, without offenses, they're trying to chant without offenses and sincerely.
Well, the more chanting we do, that's nice, but we can't make it as a formula. That if you chant 64, you'll be more successful in it. We follow Prabhupada, we'll be successful. Success is not by our efforts. Success is by blessing. So we follow Prabhupada who has given us minimum 16 rounds and preaching activities. That will give us success. So what you're saying is correct, but we can't make it a formula. Formula is minimum 16 rounds. If somebody has opportunity, he can chant more definitely. Prabhupada never said, he said minimum 16, maximum is only 16 he didn't say, minimum. So yeah. Okay. पहले
there is not should be namapra while he's chanting. It should be become some word that even 15 64 letter namapra.
right, without offense.
Here could be so I could it's like nine attachment that the Nathan Dara Tanatana so here its books mentions that nine attachment of source that should be covered.
Right. See, five attachments are five categories. Attachments are millions. But when you say wife and children, they eventually come in relation. Right? So there's a five categories. Attachments are millions, right? Okay.
There's a question online.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a question. It's just somebody thinking. So somebody's saying, thank you very much. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Much. Okay. We end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Gokuleswar Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.